Good evening, everyone. This is Austin, Victor Echo 7, Quebec Hotel, here to update my last video that I did on how I do my logging and uploading for Parks on the Air. Anyone may have noticed that I have removed that video from the public-facing side of YouTube. It's unlisted, so if anyone has that link, they can still access it, but I've unlisted it because the information in it is a bit outdated on that one. This one will be updated. And pretty much in that video, it covered how to email your local area coordinator with your logs. And that's not the case anymore. So I wanted to make sure that wasn't able to be found by anyone anymore, because I'm sure our volunteers don't want to be emailed with logbooks anymore, because there's a much better way to do that. Nowadays, Parks on the Air has created their log uploading. So when you land on the Parks on the Air website, it'll land you on the spotting page here, and then all you have to do is come into this menu when you're logged in and go into My Log Uploads right in the side here. And you can see all my logs that have been uploaded to the Parks on the Air website. And I'll cover how to do ADIF files and how to do manual log entries from paper, because I usually log on paper, but you can also upload electronic logs from apps such as Hammers, and I have an example of that here. So here I have this logbook that I haven't uploaded yet from the end of September, nearly a month ago, that I did while I was out visiting family in Vancouver, and I've got that open here. So what I've done is in Hammers, and I won't have the logbook on this computer because I actually did it on my phone, but you can see here I have, say, this file here that has already been uploaded. That's from January 9th of this year. So you can see this logbook I have here. All you're going to do, and it's very similar on the mobile apps as well, is click on this cog icon in your logbooks and export.adi, and that will allow you to save it to a file location of your choosing. But that log's already been uploaded, so we're going to take a look at this one here, which has been exported from Hammers. Using the file, or using the naming convention that they used to use back when you had to upload it or email it to your coordinator, because the system still looks for this and it will fill in the information automatically if you use this format. That format is your call sign at park number with the dash between the letter and the number. So in this case, Victor Echo dash 3407 dash, then the date 2022, 9th month, 30th day. So it's year, month, day. So 2022 09/30. And if you use that naming convention, the website will automatically input that information for you, which I'll show you in a minute. And if you open it up in a program called ADIF Master, you can go through here and make sure everything is correct before you upload it. And there's one here that's saved as 20 meters for some reason, so we can change that to 2 meters just like that. And it allows you to change anything you want and make sure everything is proper in here. So I already went through and confirmed everything except for that, and you have to make sure it looks the same as everything else there. Then I can check it, make sure that it is compliant with the ADIF standard. If it's not, POTA will probably reject it. Then I can save it, make sure it's good to go, and just close out of it. Once the file is ready for uploading, all I have to do is click here, or just drag and drop it. Go into, I have it saved somewhere, here it is, under Hammers logs, and then in mine it's not posted. And then I just choose the file here and open it up there. Now you can see that's the file name we put in, and because we use that format, it pulled out the date for the activation, my call sign, and the park number, and the location, which is British Columbia, Canada, 6 phone QSOs, 4 CW QSOs for a total of 10. And then it's gonna make sure, it's gonna send you to some references to make sure your file is correct. I recommend reading those on your own time. If you need help, they also have a FAQ and a email support for doing that. But all they want is for you to say, my logs are correct and they cannot be modified once uploaded. That's important. That's why you check it before sending it in. And then my logs are for activations to conform to the Parks in the Air rules and code of conduct. That's all. These are just links to the rest of the FAQ on how to be a good Parks on the Air activator. I also recommend you read those if you haven't already. You click on that, then upload file for validation. It'll upload, and then the page should refresh for you. So they'll give you this information here. Once your log is processed, it may up to 24 hours for your logbook and stats to fully reflect. Most awards are granted within a few days, but some take a few weeks, so thank you for being patient. That's just there because it takes a bit for the information to propagate through the system here and credit all your hunters and all that stuff. It just takes a little bit, but 9 times out of 10, you can actually see it'll show up here. It's already shown up here in my activations, and you can see everything here and all the people I contacted. And this is quite a bit faster than the old email system, where it would take up to sometimes up to 2 weeks for you to ever see your activation in here. And I remember back in the day, I'd check every day, is my log up? Have I got my awards? Like, for example, I'm working towards my activated parks, so you can see that's already counted up. I used to be at 24, and then I'm working towards 30 unique parks for the next level of activator. So yeah, it's quite a bit faster than the old system. Now, if you only use electronic logs, this is the end of the video for you. There's not really any more information that you really need out of this video. However, there's another really cool option here for those of us who log on paper. And since getting this method, I've been back to logging on paper more than I used to, just because I'd log on paper, come home, load it into Hammers, which was a bit of a pain because it tries to keep the time and date up to date. So you have to go back and change the time for every contact. You have to do the same here, but it's much nicer in this sense because it's not trying to pull the time that it is right now and you have to change it. It's an empty field that you type in. So we're going to click on here, and it's going to bring us into here. So, and they even tell you this page is not intended for live logging. If the page refreshes for any reason, or you lose power and your web browser closes, all the information that's not saved is gone. So don't use this during your Parks on the Air activations. Now this is meant for afterwards. So what I can do is the park reference, in this case, is going to be Victor Echo -4227, which is Tonkwall Provincial Park, which is confirmed down here. This activation was the 14th of October 2022, the 20-meter band. And then all of my contacts that day were actually CW, but if they weren't, you can go through here and choose all the different modes that are available. I'll stick with CW. Don't need to change that. I was the operator. And then all you have to do is enter call sign. And yeah, all my times are going to be in local time, so I have to add 7 hours. So 1 p.m. local should be 8 p.m. UTC. But we'll see if it lets me get away with not entering a time. So Whiskey 9 Alpha Victor contacted me, and it asks for their state, and I'm pretty sure that Whiskey 9 Alpha Victor is actually from Wisconsin. I have to go back in my last logs and see here. He's Wisconsin. So if you don't know, you don't have to enter it, but it is recommended. So he's Wisconsin. We can enter. And it does take it without a time. Okay, that's cool. So next will be Whiskey 7 Golf Alpha in Utah. And you just hit enter. And you just do this for all your contacts on your form. And if you have any park-to-park data, I don't have one from this activation, but say I called myself, this is my other call sign, from BC, from Victor Echo -3778. Oh. Let's see if this is a park that I can't remember my old park numbers. Anyway, the call sign that called you, their state, and if they were park to park, you enter in their park information there with the letter, then dash park number. So I could do, say, Kilo 9621. That's a contact I made today. You go Kilo dash 9621. Wow, am I really that bad? 9621. Yeah. I had it right the first time. So I made a contact into that park today. So yeah. Do one more with you guys. November Echo 1 Delta in Massachusetts and no park. So, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, never mind. It does take the time that you enter in here. So in this case, it was 00, 00, and 00. So cut those out and we'll start again. So if I am up to date on my conversion at 1304 local, it should have been 20-04. Whiskey 9 Alpha Victor in Wisconsin, and hit enter. That's better. The next one would have been at 2010. So this is a nice thing they've done also, is you can once you enter the hour, when you start a new line, it changes you back to the minute. So instead of having to type in 2010 for the next contact, I just have to type in 10, and then the next call sign, which is Whiskey 7 Golf Alpha in Utah, like before, just like that. And then November Echo 1 Delta called immediately after, so we'll enter him in for Massachusetts and hit enter. So I'll go through the rest of this list here, and I'll get back to you guys shortly. Okay, and we are back. So you can see now I have all my contacts logged into the website here. We can make sure everything is correct here. So everything is in CW on the 20-meter band, which is correct. Everything took place on October 14th. Make sure all my times make sense here. Make sure all my call signs look correct here, and they're all done by me. There are no additional details. So once this is entered, I can click on my logs are correct, and I understand that logs cannot be modified once uploaded. And my logs are for activation that conforms to the Parks in the Air Code of Conduct. Once that is done, I can just click on, well, first I actually normally click on download ADIF. That'll ask me to save the file, which I can just put into my Hammers Logs folder and then I will sort them accordingly. I have to make some new files for some of my common parks out here. So I'll just save it into the main file for now. It'll download here, and I can even open it in ADIF master. And you can see that POTA has taken everything that we entered in here and made an ADIF file, just like Hammers would if I were to export this from Hammers. So that's pretty cool. And I can click on Submit Log. So it's uploading it. And it is complete. And it should take me back to the page I was. And I'll mark in my logbook that this has been uploaded to POTA. So this is the new logging system for parks on the air, and you can see it's shown up here. And even if you save it or upload it without downloading your ADIF, you can download it here. So that's nice. So if I lost any of my logbooks, looks like it doesn't keep any of the legacy stuff, but anything that I've uploaded myself, it looks like I can download the ADIF file. So if you lose logbooks or your paper book gets destroyed for whatever reason, not all is lost. You can still get it here. So kudos to the Parks on the Air volunteers that made this happen. This is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, Parks on the Air is a fantastic program, and if you're here and looking for logging support, you've either done an activation already, which means congratulations, you've activated your first park, or your first couple parks even, or you haven't even tried it yet and you're considering Parks on the Air. And to those people, I'd say give it a shot. If you have this old beat up boat anchor that belongs on a desk, take it anyway. If all you have is an old RV battery, car battery, what have you, use that. You don't have to spend tons of money to get started with Parks on the Air. As you go, you'll probably buy different pieces of equipment that makes going into the field a little bit easier. That's why I bought a KX2. But when you first start out with Parks on the Air, you don't need much. So have a good evening, everyone, and 7.3 VE7QH.